Details from last night's town council meeting on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, May 8th, 2015. I'm Sarah Mannel. The Barnstable Senior Center will discontinue the Adult Supportive Day program at the end of this year. Town Manager Tom Lynch made the announcement during last night's Town Council meeting. Director of Senior Services Madeline Noonan says ending the program was an extremely tough decision.
Tom mentioned, this is with a very heavy heart that we're sharing this decision, and it has been some time that we have been considering the future sustainability of the program. And involved in that research, we have reached out to other communities. In fact, almost exactly a year ago, Donna Burns, our assistant director, is here as well. She actually oversees and supervises this program on a day-to-day basis. We hosted a statewide supportive day meeting at the Barnstable Senior Center a year ago, and it was sort of doom and gloom at that time, to be quite frank with you. And we had, programs that operate all over the state and have been operating for many years. Like, we've been running this program for 17 years. It precedes the actual construction of the senior center, because formerly it ran out of the Centerville Recreation Facility until, for budgetary reasons, we had to move it into the senior center's garden level, which actually was not even designed to accommodate the program. But we were committed to making it work. And there was a time where it was looking hopeful, given the demographics, that we really invested a lot of time and energy to make the program work. And we felt we did it extremely successfully. And we had a great reputation in the public among aging providers. I would say in the last 2 years, I would say the first thing, and it's outlined in the memo, we went through a division-wide reclassification process. And what that did was great for the staff. They were, particularly the supportive day program staff, were getting paid appropriately for the work that they were doing day to day, but it had a significant impact on what it was costing us to run the program. And as you can see, we mentioned in there that we are required to meet ratios through the Executive Office of Elder Affairs. We have to have a 1-to-8 ratio. And, so with the coverage that we need for the program, we had 1 full-time and 4 part-time aides. We saw a huge increase in the expenses. To try and offset that, we requested a fee increase, which we were hesitant to do given the need for the program and the fact that people have a hard time affording it, but caregivers need whatever help they can get, and we were certainly making every effort to provide it. And I think another factor that really played into this was, for a long time, we had clients that were coming 4 or 5 days a week. They were our steady revenue stream, and as long as they were coming to the program, we knew that the funds were coming in to maintain it. And we had actually for a few years built up quite a reserve. And unfortunately, as things go and as people age, oftentimes they age out of our program and they need a higher level of care. They may move on to a health model program, which the VNA operates to on the Cape. There are some other programs out there. They sort of move along the continuum. And, that was significant to us because as people sort of aged out, we were trying to get new people to come to the program. And what we found, and I think this isn't just a trend to us, because I did a lot of research, as did Donna. We've spent a lot of time exploring the options, and nationally many programs are closing as well, all for the same reasons: declining enrollment, trying to come up and be creative with funding, to keep it going.
And the Senior Center is working with current members of the program to connect them with other options. Town Council votes to amend zoning near the Cape Cod Mall. That is the first hurdle for the individuals that want to build a Chick-fil-A in an unused portion of the Cape Cod Mall parking lot. Town Council Vice President Ann Kennedy urged the council to support amending the overlay district before the vote.
This is just a first step in a very long process, and there's going to be a lot of that type of discussion and negotiations, and with people like the Cape Cod Commission that have the transportation numbers and that they have this expertise. So I'm confident that after you go through this process, we'll have a good product. And I also think that I did read the planning board's comments, and I may agree with some and not with others, but I think these things are specific to the process, and that there are opportunities for the people that don't agree with this to make comments in the proper forum. So the other thing is that when we talk about where do we want So it's a separate argument to talk about. We don't want this type of business, or we don't want that type of business. That's a separate argument. But if we're going to have this type of business, because people want it, this is where we should have it, on the corridor of 132. We've made a decision. We don't want them on our Main Street villages. This is where we have located these type of businesses, and this is consistent with what is already there on 132. So that's why I've sponsored with Councillor Dagwan this amendment, and I'm happy to support it.
The plans for a standalone Chick-fil-A will still need to be approved by the Cape Cod Commission, the Planning Board, and Site Plan Review. Town Council approves spending $170,000 to pay for the pile replacement project in Barnstable Harbor. DPW Director Dan Santos explained the need for additional funds before the vote.
During the winter storms and prolonged freeze of January and February of this year, Barnstable Harbor suffered the loss and/or damage of 38 wooden marine piles. The piles are a vital aspect of the marina operation as they secure docks and vessels. At the end of March, the town sought bids to reinstall town-supplied piles under an emergency procurement procedure. 4 bids were received for the project, ranging from $110,000 to $527,636. The low bidder on the project, Cape Marine Contracting, chose not to accept the terms, conditions, and bonding requirements of the contract. The town purchasing agent obtained authorization from the State Division of Capital Asset Management and Maintenance to award the contract to the second low bidder, Coastal Marine Construction, in the amount of $271,904. The Town Council previously appropriated $110,000 for this project. An additional $170,000 is necessary to fully fund the contract. As of today, all of the piles have been installed. The contractor is planning to leave the area tomorrow. DPW has begun installing utilities at the location. If all goes according to plan, the marina will be open for dockage beginning this weekend. The available funds in the Department of Public Works personnel budget are due to the turnover in several positions throughout the fiscal year, resulting in vacancy savings. The total FY15 operating budget appropriation of $8,555,962 for the Public Works Department is not changing. This requested transfer will allow the department to address this project in a timely manner, limiting the impact of businesses operating out of the harbor.
And the council voted unanimously to approve that expense. The town of Barnstable is taking steps to ensure the Hyannis water system is clear of any contaminants. Town council approved spending $744,000 to install a filtration system for 2 of the 4 water wells at the Mary Dunn well field. The proposal comes after a pollutant was found during routine testing. DPW Director Dan Santos says while the project is necessary, the water supply is currently safe to use.
I just want to make it clear that we've worked extremely closely with the Department of Environmental Protection on this, and they have been very supportive in all the work we've done. In fact, they have basically stated that the Hyannis water system is currently safe to use for all purposes, and they want that to be made clear to all the residents and customers that the water system is safe to use, and that the actions that we've taken are extremely appropriate and extremely conservative for the protection of public health. Furthermore, wanted to make note on the perfluorinated compounds, and that the source of the compounds in the water supply wells at this point is identified as the Barnstable County Fire Training Academy, where firefighting foams containing these chemicals were historically used for firefighter training. Cape Cod Commission technical staff, who have been extremely helpful and work with us as well as DEP on this matter very closely, have sample monitoring wells in the vicinity of the Firefighter Training Academy in order to confirm the source of the attribution. And then regarding funding, the initial borrowing for this work will be on behalf of the Water Supply Enterprise account. The town will seek, and it is anticipated that any and all funds expended to address the contamination of the wells from the Barnstable County Fire Training Academy shall be reimbursed to the town.
After some discussion, council unanimously approved that request. Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On Monday's show, we will chat with Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mary Schakowsky, Cape Cod Community College Communications Director Michael Gross, plus we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.